Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today checking out some more barley wine because it's hashtag BarleyWember, a hashtag by the Danish beer bloggers. They made this hashtag to promote barley wine in November, and some people really enjoy this hashtag. It might not be the best hashtag in the world, but also some people don't like it and don't like the style at all. But that's just how it is. Barley wine isn't for everyone. Only advanced palates. No, barley wine is awesome. It's one of those really, really old money styles that I myself really love. I know a lot of people love them, and it's a style you can't do too much to. You can't pastryfy it really, and things like that. Often those, variants, they are just not that great. Like, yeah, I can maybe handle some vanilla and whatnot, but that's also about it. Maybe some smoke, like this one. So you just also really have to be really into really hefty old money malt cannons, like really rich malty beers. So this one I got on Beerdome, so thanks a ton to Beerdome for the beer. This is from Nøgne. I can't remember the last time I reviewed a Nøgne Ø beer. I think it must be a few years ago at least. Maybe less. I think I got a beer mail. Was it 2 years? It's when they changed the artwork to what it is now. Where we tried a couple different ones, but it's been a long time since I tried some. But this one we're trying today is Charley Noble, a whiskey barrel aged barley wine. This is 12%. It's 50 IBUs. Original gravity was 28 Plato, and yeah, so it's aged in bourbon barrels or some kind of American whiskey barrel. As far as I could gather, because there's not too much info about barrels or anything. It's just there was a comment on their post about it where someone said, "Oh, so is it Scotch or is it American?" But it is smoky. So I'm wondering if that's from the barrel or they added a little bit of peat malt to the recipe. I'm guessing peat malt because I've googled peated bourbon and apparently there are some, but not a lot. So yeah, I don't know, but we'll see how this one is. Pours a very nice color, quite dark barley wine. The darkest of browns, really. I mean, it's borderline. It's not really black. It's just like really, really, really muddy brown, dark muddy brown, with some chestnutty red notes on the bottom of the glass there, and a nice beige head that poured out really fluffy and nice looking. So yeah, let's check out the aroma. Yeah, there's underlying peat. There's definitely like, smelling this, it smells more like an Islay barrel aged beer, really, because there's oak and peaty malt, but there's definitely also some sweetness underneath and a slight fudgy caramelly tone that could be from a bourbon barrel or just the base. There's also some fruitiness to it, like almost like a class. It seems more classic English barley wine than the American interpretation. Like American English style barley wine is often much more like fudgy, sweet, crazy, like loads of like all these kind of sweet malt flavors, but no esters. And I feel like on this one I'm getting a little bit of like a stewed fruitiness, like just like what I associate with British yeasts. Like if you've ever made like ESBs or whatever, something like that. And the peat smoke is not like crazy dominant, but it's enough to not just be leather, to actually be like a peaty smokiness. There's definitely also some leathery tones to it. And yeah, some caramelly, fudgy, kind of maltiness, spiciness too. It smells quite nice. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Thanks to Beerdome for the beer. Sweeter than I expected. Not super thick. Dry as well. Like, it's not like, it's much more old school than a lot of modern interpretation of English barley wine. Like, because it's sweet, but it's like, it's finishing really dry. Lingers with like a really dry, oaky, really charry, woody flavor on the palate. And then like a lingering layer of peaty smoke, which I think is quite nice. It's not for everyone, but I think it works really well. It's really, really old school beer, really old school. And there's definitely some of that kind of stewed, dark, fruity, almost like forest berry jammy kind of fruitcakey flavors to me. Yeah, there's definitely esters. It's not all, there's actually a lot of it the more I drink it. It's not all just caramel and fudge, but there's definitely some of that too. And then like charry, toasty malt. There is touch of vanilla to it. And I think it could be a bourbon barrel because there is that kind of caramelized flavor you get with something like a bourbon barrel. So my thought would be that this is a bourbon barrel aged barley wine with a touch of peated malt in the recipe. Because I like just looking up peated bourbon, there's so few producers of it. I think it'd be hard to source in Europe, to be 100% honest. But it's good. It might be a little bit like sugary, but I think the dryness on it kind of balanced that out enough. It's just because it's not a big oomphy base. Like it's 28 Platos. Like a lot of modern barley wines for barrels are like 38. Like craziness. Like crazy big rich. They finish at like 20 Plato when they come out of the barrel, and they are just so decadent and crazy. This is so much more old money, but it's really really good. So like it doesn't have that same heft or anything to stand up to. Well, see, I think it stands up to the barrel quite well, but it's not like the same kind of crazy viscosity and whatnot. So it dries out much more and seems, I don't want to say thin, but just thinner than these kind of beers. Also, the carbonation is a bit higher than a lot of other like more modern interpretations. But yeah, it's really old school. But it's a nice barley wine. And if you like peaty smoke, I think you'll really enjoy this. But you have to enjoy peaty smoke because I think it's on the forefront enough that if you don't like it, it's too much. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, they say themselves here flavors. They say dried fruit. I completely agree. Toffee, yes. Whiskey, leather peat. That's pretty dead on. That's exactly what you're getting in here. So if you're a peat lover, if you like a more drinkable barley wine, really, because this is fairly drinkable. This has also been chilled just about 20 minutes in the fridge, 30 minutes. So it's just like lightly chilled. It's a very great temperature for sipping on it. It's really easy drinking. Also at 12%. And no trace of booze or anything really. Just maybe a touch of like a whiskey alcohol warmth. Yeah, it's nice. I'm not blown away and super excited, but early 90s for me, like maybe a 91-ish, 2-ish, something like that. Like, it's got some very nice complexities. I'm just not like, wow, like, it's crazy. I think for me, I could have used even more peat, just because, when I read peat, it's on there. I love when it's like crazy and in your face, and maybe just a more oomphy base. Even though it's old school and this is, how a lot of barley wines used to be, I just like it with a little bit more like substantial like body and everything. But that being said, it's still fantastic. It's a really, really good, great barley wine. And if you like the smoky stuff, you'll really like this. So yeah, 92 probably, I think, for this one. Maybe even 93. I don't know. Around that territory. So yeah, very tasty. If you love smoke, you'll dig this. So if you guys had a chance to try Nøgne Ø's Charley Noble, a smoky whiskey barrel-aged barley wine, let me know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton to Beerdome for the beer. I'm not sure if it's still on the web shop, but you can check it out and find out for yourself. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers and see you guys in another beer review.